And I'm going to share my screen. So here we go. And again, it's different when it's on my own computer. I have to be able to see different. It looks different on my computer. So I'll ask Ashley, I can see on there. Can you see the NewAge slide? And how about now? Can you see me? Awesome. Thank you. All right. So, Anthony, thank you for being my co host. And I've made all the speakers co host tonight, so you can all unmute yourself when it's time. But welcome to NewAge Live. My name is Rick Redford. I'm the area director of North America, and we are off and running on Monday night. Thank you all for being and adjusting your schedules to be with us on a Monday night. We've got great calls lined up. I'm excited about this. And I'm excited about the new format as well. I think it's going to be something really, really great. So for those of you who are excited about Nucerity and Skincerity, Skincerity by Lucem is now available in loyalty shopping for the month of February. That doesn't happen very often. If you have any issues with scarring, if you have any issues with, really dry skin, with acne, there's so many things that are addressed with Skincerity. It's one of the best products out there. I happen to use it most every night. Not that I'm a glowing example of wonderful skin, but for me it works. So I would recommend it highly for anybody who wants to improve their skin quality. My wife uses it pretty religiously every night, and her skin looks, and you can tell. So also in MOA, between February 11th, coming up in 10 days, and the 18th, for 1 week, Love Your Heart, Valentine's Day. So that's a 1 week on loyalty shopping. Again, doesn't happen very often. So write down in your note. Next week, we'll also tell you the same thing, which will be a couple of days ahead of time. So put that on your calendar. Also, there is a special starting in 2 days. The Lucem pack. These 2 packs, you buy either of those 2 packs and you get some free Timana lipstick lip gloss. That is, Timana is one of the brands within the Noni company, and will be in our shopping cart in April or when we consolidate. And in the meantime, they're free with purchase. So if you buy either of those 2 skincare kits, then you receive free Timana lipstick lip gloss. They only come in the colors that are listed there. You don't have a choice. So if those colors don't appeal to you, then, oh well, give them to someone who it does. But you get to try it free. And you get that great Lucem skincare. Also, as you know, we're in the middle of the Transformation Throwdown Weight Loss Challenge. Great prizes. And if that doesn't motivate you, $1,000 cash and 1,000 shares, which at today's value, approximately $3 a share, that's $3,000 plus $1,000. $4,000 to win a weight loss challenge, that's pretty impressive. So if you haven't entered, you still can. I would imagine the winner of that challenge may not have entered yet. So there's a great opportunity for you. And here's some of the packs you can order. We've been showing these each week, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. And this week, Thursday, 11 o'clock a.m. Mountain Standard Time, special guest Barbara Cox that'll be with Allison on the Transformation Show Throwdown on Facebook Live. So you want to join us, be with us on that. It's awesome. Also, and I've talked about this, if you are not registered for Destination Success in Destin, Florida, on the 19th and the 20th of this month, I think there's only a few spots available, and if any. So if you've been waiting and wondering and so on, if you want to go, then we are expecting over 500 people there. We're excited. I'll be there. Jeff Yates will be there. You're going to hear from many of the leaders and many transformation stories. And it's going to be a fantastic weekend. My wife and I are going to be coming together. We're excited to be there. You get a chance to meet her, the strength behind the madness. And also, first time anybody knows about this, Mark Wilson is going to be there. He just was able to free up his schedule today. So special guest, excited to be able to share that with you. So again, only a few seats left if there are. So this is more for information now. Snooze, you lose, my friends. And I realize there's those of you that can't travel, those of you from Canada, I get it. There's those who don't feel comfortable yet traveling, I get it. But for those of you who do, you may have missed the opportunity by sleeping through it. Just saying. Okay. Sorry. So Dan, I made you a co-host so you can jump on. Are you there?
I'm here, Rick. Can you hear me all right?
I can. You're right there. There you are.
How you doing? Good evening.
Doing good. So my partner in crime, Dan Cawley, and we are going to announce the title advancement. So I have been asked to spend just a few seconds each rank or title and highlight. Team lead is you gained 200 AOR opportunity credits, but you earn that with lifetime earnings of $100. And that can be retail profit. It could be any way through the comp plan. So you have earned $100 in lifetime earnings, and you are the new team lead. And new team leads are Cynthia Trowbridge from North Carolina.
We also have Landon Wilson from Arkansas.
Yumiko Kawakita from California.
Lisette Robles from Colorado.
Jenny Hoagland from Michigan.
Tania G. Popa from Illinois. Tanya
Zhao from North Carolina.
Danielle Lindsley from Missouri.
Vanessa Roberts from Arkansas.
And Riley Niblett from Alabama.
And from our friends north of the border, Emilie Laborde from Quebec.
And Bonanno Grinago from Quebec. That was not my best effort on name pronunciation, but I hope that came across.
And hopefully you're on the call tonight and you know who you are. So congratulations, our new team leads. Let's hear it.
Way to go, everybody.
Awesome. And new senior team leads, and you earn this through lifetime earnings of 200 USD. Let's hear it from Mary Tothero from Tennessee.
Kathy Famestad from South Dakota.
Vivian Liu from California.
Don K. Yuhas from Illinois.
Ana Cecilia Guevara Ayala from Texas.
Alice Walker from Indiana.
Elizabeth Clark from Colorado.
Adhis Ruiz from Utah. Way to go, Utah.
Shelly Henderson from Florida.
Maria Dubert from Illinois.
And from Canada, Ho Hung from British Columbia.
Bailey Ferguson from Alberta.
Karine Thériault from Quebec.
Johan Godin from Quebec.
Or Godin. Martine Bernetche from Quebec. Congratulations, new senior team leads. Awesome.
I love it. Hey, by the way, I love it when we get into like a certain accent and it carries over into a different name pronunciation. Those are my favorite.
Yes, like I just did Latino version of French.
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Maybe a
Henderson,
little. Okay.
Henderson came out Hernandez, but whatever.
I know. I'm just, I'm on a roll. So new supervisors, and you earn this with lifetime earnings of $400 US. Let's hear it for Lenore Stevens from Illinois.
Sandy Wilson, North Carolina.
Darlene Levy from California.
Ariel Perez from Nevada.
Brenda O'Daniel from Florida.
Ava Ferguson from Arkansas.
And Paul Bunn from Arkansas.
And from Canada, we have Melanie Beauchy from Alberta.
And Andre Forget from Quebec.
All right, congratulations, supervisors.
New supervisors. Great job. And new senior supervisors. You earn this with lifetime earnings of $600 US. Let's hear it for Lori Fredrickson from Arizona.
And Ashley M. Corbin, Texas.
And from Canada, Kathleen Elphick from Alberta.
And Sylvie Leclerc from Quebec. Congratulations, senior supervisors.
Senior supervisors, congratulations. And jumping to managers who earn this with lifetime earnings of $800 US. So you can see you start at 100, then 200, then 4, 6, 8. That's how you earn the next title, is through your lifetime earnings up through manager. So new manager, Rajai Kaldani from Illinois. Great job, Rajai. Rajai. Nice work. And we're jumping to vice president. Now your lifetime earnings are 1,000 US dollars. Deborah Wilson from Arkansas.
Maria Wilson from Arkansas.
Kelly Brown from Alabama.
And Eleanor McFarland from Florida.
And from Canada, Elizabeth Dufour from Quebec.
Nice job.
Congratulations, new vice presidents. Well done. Next up, we have a senior vice president with lifetime earnings of 1,000 US dollars is how you earn that. Lorraine McFarland from Florida. Way to go, Lorraine.
All right, good job.
There's been a number of McFarlands tonight. I wonder if they're all related.
They're dominating tonight, aren't they?
I know, right? New officer that we're jumping to, and this is base commissions now. So when your base commissions is 1,000 US dollars in any one given week, then you earn the title of officer. So you know before you earned it with lifetime earnings, and then you jump to base commissions. And there's it starts earlier than this, but this is the first one tonight. Betty Cooper from Arkansas, our new officer. Congratulations, Betty. That is a significant achievement. Way to go.
Great job.
Way to go, Betty. That Arkansas team in the last 2 weeks has just gone crazy. Way to go, Arkansas. So Dan, thank you for being my partner in crime tonight.
Thank you. Awesome job, everybody. Congratulations on all your advancements. We'll do it again next week.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
And we have 2 transformation stories, as I promised we would have every Monday night. The first one we have tonight is someone that I wanted to hear from. And I met Dawn for the first time, the last Destin event we had. And she came up and she just declared it to me, stand in front of me, says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I'm looking at her going, man, that is awesome. Such great energy. And she has a great transformation story. I'm going to show you her couple of before and afters here first, so you can get an idea, July 2018 and so on. But look at this. That is impressive. So Dawn, I know I made you a co-host so you can unmute. Are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can, and I'm actually going to view. Hold on one second. I want you to be spotlighted so that we just see you. So Dawn, right. I know that, and I mean this, that when I met you in Destin, you just totally declared this to me. And I'm like, I'm watching, I'm going to watch this girl. So you've done a lot since then. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, my journey with weight loss and transformation started back in 2010 when I had a stroke at age 39. I decided after that when the doctor told me basically I should just sit on the couch and be happy to be alive, but be miserable, that wasn't going to work for me. I had 4 kids and a husband and a full-time job at the time. And there was no way I was going to give up my life to sit on the couch just because I had made bad choices and gotten myself into that situation. So I decided to start looking, and in starting to look for that process, I realized there was a lot of things I had to fix inside of me before the outside of me could fix. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Okay. So I began that journey, and I would lose a couple pounds and gain a couple pounds and just kind of walk that for a while. 2018, 2 years after I lost my mom, I really started to decide that I needed to do something about this. And so I got with my prior company, and I had a little bit of success. I lost a little bit of weight, maybe 10 or 20 of those 60 pounds that I've lost now, I lost then. But I bounced up and down, and I still didn't ever find anything that just would, balance my body. And so in June of this year, 2 friends of mine jumped into RX at the time. And they jumped in May. And I was like, I'm not doing another company. I don't want to do another business, but I am really interested in those skinny drops. So I ordered SlenderX drops for my birthday. And at the time there was a package that we could get into the business basically with a small package. And so my husband was like, yeah, you should probably do that. And I was like, I'm not doing the business. And so I got in and I did the drops, and I started losing weight. But more than that for me at the time was at about 10 days in, I looked at my husband and I said, I haven't had a hot flash or a night sweat in 10 days.
Wow.
This is a big deal. So I kept taking the drops really because it was beginning to balance my body. And I started to listen to Dr. Ginger and Amy Summers and some of the ones that were actually putting out information on why this stuff was working. And then all of a sudden I had like 3 or 4 people coming around like, I need those drops. I need those drops. I need those drops. And so I started doing the business. And so that has transformed us. Not only is it transforming my health, it's transforming our finances, which is something we desperately needed. We are, I like to say we were kind of like financially stupid for a lot of years. We made some really dumb choices and we're learning a little later in life, but the fact is we're learning and we're growing and that's what matters. So my weight loss journey, since I started this company alone, I've lost almost 40 pounds. The 20, was before that. So I hit the 60-pound mark last week when I lost the 10 on the transformation challenge that I've lost so far.
Well, and the picture that we didn't show tonight, but the one you had on your Facebook page amazed me, where you were in those pants, that kind of the skinnier pants that you wanted to get into. And so we're surprised, surprised that you were able to put them on and zip them up and
I was shocked.
Awesome.
I didn't lay down or anything.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
It is. And it just keeps coming. I remember the first Destin event in November. I was talking to Dr. Crystal and I didn't realize her story at the time. Yeah. And she really inspired me because she said it would just keep falling off. And it's absolutely just happening. Our products are amazing. I have amazing support in my team, of course, amazing leaders. You guys are amazing. And everybody's just starting to pay attention. So now I can move on to what I shot my mouth off about and actually start moving the business. So hold me to that. It's going to happen.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. So excited for you. And again, I'm just going to say a lot of times we notice because of weight loss is just so dramatic visually, but what that is doing for you internally and all of your organs and your general health, your energy levels, everything. It's just so significant. So yes, we do put emphasis on weight loss and we show the before and afters of the people that lean up and so on. And visually, yeah, it can be a little superficial, but man, I'm telling you the difference that makes. So Dawn, congratulations. I'm so excited for your health journey and for your success so far.
Thanks, Rick. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. So the next up is another individual, and I'm going to let me pull up my my slides again. So the next person is Henry Clark, and look at this before and after. And when he came on the call tonight, I hardly recognized him because first of all, he just looks so darn sophisticated on camera, but also he just looks so lean and it's awesome to see. So Henry, are you there?
Yes, I am. I appreciate you having me on tonight.
You got it. So I'm going to make a spotlight for you so everybody can see your handsome face. So tell us a little bit about your journey as well.
Well, my journey started looking, I guess I should say, about February of last year. And I was watching a video from Dr. Lorraine McFarland, and she had just started the program. And I kept watching her, and I finally called her one day after about a month or so, and just to see what she was doing. And so she explained the program, and I really didn't want to, kind of like Don, I really didn't want to get back into a business, and I really wanted to lose weight, and you're kind of skeptical about that because you've tried everything there is in the world. And so I waited till about July before I watched her, every week. And I also got back in touch with her occasionally and questioned her. And then I went back in July, about July the 6th is when I actually started the program on ordering the products. And so in 5 months, I'd lost 60 pounds. So, it works. The products that I'm using do work. And And I'm just, I'm excited about what's going to happen now. The business part of it, I'm just now getting into. I'm getting my feet wet into it. Um, it's helped me tremendously as far as the weight loss. I've been sidelined with a injury for about 2 years and recuperating. So I feel the products have helped me a lot, both physically and mentally. And so I'm, you know, I'm looking forward to getting more involved in the business part of it. I'm learning more about it. So it's going to take me a little time, but we'll get there.
Awesome. I'm sure that there are people in your community that have not seen you for a little while, that as you walk into a store or bump into them on the street, they're like, Henry? They're looking at you like, oh my gosh, what have you been doing? So from a business standpoint, you're a walking billboard in a sense. Have you noticed that?
Yes, to the people that know me for sure.
Yeah. So what's their reaction?
Well, they asked me if I'm sick. Do you have a disease? You know, what's happened to you? Yes, we've got a lot of, I planted a lot of seeds, and it just, you know, people just have to, like I said, it took me, you know, 3 or 4 months to really decide whether I was going to just try it.
Yeah.
So I understand how they feel. I mean, we've all been there and that have tried to lose weight. So, but I feel like it's going to grow and it's going to get a lot stronger.
Mm. Well, congratulations. And your story will inspire a lot of people on a number of different directions. First of all, your appearance. They'll see that and hopefully they'll see that your face looks healthier, not sicker.
Right.
They won't ask if you're sick anymore. But what they'll see also is they will, your demeanor, your energy. What I find is when I'm healthier, my energy is so much more, and they'll ask about that. And then your part of your story will inspire a lot of people that you may not have thought about. Is there's so many other people who are hesitant to make a move to something, and you can tell that part of your story. You know, I was too.
Yeah.
I was hesitant. I was keeping my eye on things, and I finally said, "What have I got to lose?" And I started in, and this is what I got to lose, and that's a powerful story. So Henry, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me come on and tell my story.
Of course, yeah, and I'll be watching.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Watching. Awesome. Our main speaker tonight is somebody that we all know and love. I will go back to my screen and share. Most of you have heard Robert many times on our Monday afternoon RX Success, with his now consolidated into this call. He's the company's chief mindset officer, million sales, book sale. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, best-selling author for sure, multiple times. And somebody that I learn from every time he's on a call. I take a note and I learn from him just about something. And it's always different than what I think I'm going to learn. So I'm excited myself to welcome Robert Allen, our Chief Mindset Officer, to the call tonight. Robert, are you there?
I'm here, everybody.
Boom, there you are.
Welcome to the new time frame for RX Live. And we have, look at that, 323 people on this call. That's fantastic, Rick. We all focus in on one great call a week. That's fabulous. Hi, everybody. I see all these friends that I know. There's Anthony, there's Amy, there's Sandy and Kelly and Kathy and David and all kinds of wonderful people. I asked somebody the other day on a training call I was doing, then she'd sent me an email about a multiple streams of income class that I was holding. And I said, what's your self-esteem on a scale of 1 to 10? And she had been struggling a little bit. And it's a question I want to ask you. When she emailed me, she said that her self-esteem on a scale of 1 to 10 was a 3. Now, I want you to imagine that you were me and you had to coach her on how to increase her self-esteem. First of all, since I'm going to ask you that same question, what is your self-esteem on a scale of 1 to 10? You don't have to put it in the chat. You don't have to tell anybody. This is just between you and you. But imagine that you were, I don't know where your self-esteem is. It could be 8, 9, 10. It could be 2, 3, 4. For this woman who sent me this email, her self-esteem was 3. I want to know, how could she decide that her self-esteem would be 3? What evidence did she use to say that her self-esteem was low like that? Probably would have been her experiences in life. And there would be a lot of things that were going on inside her mind. This call is about self-esteem and about mindset, and self-esteem is a part of mindset. So the question I want to ask you is, how would you rate yourself, and what evidence would you use to rate yourself at whatever number you gave yourself today? How would she rate herself? I mean, what evidence did she use? What evidence do you use to give yourself a score on a scale of 1 to 10? Like I said, probably for her, it was some bad experiences. Maybe it was just the way she'd been trained to think about herself. Maybe her critical voice was in there, creating doubt about herself. And she ends up voting for herself and saying that she's a 3. Now, you're her coach. I'm coaching her, but let's pretend you're her coach. What would you tell her? What would you say to this woman to increase her self-esteem by 1 point? She's a 3. So how could she increase her self-esteem to a 4? I'm actually going to ask you to give your opinion. Just give me one, not a whole bunch, but one thing you could say to this woman to move her self-esteem from a 3 to a 4. So by doing this, you're no longer the student on this call tonight. You're the teacher. And you're going to come from the teacher's mindset and not the student's mindset. And they are very different mindsets. That's why I tell you one of the most important things you can do is to teach what you're learning as soon as you start to learn it, because it now shifts you from a student mindset to a teacher's mindset. And you look at the world totally differently with a teacher's mindset. So I'm going to ask you to go into the teacher's mindset now and write into the chat. Everybody go into the chat right now and tell this woman, let's say her name is Sheila. Sheila, this is what I would do to increase your self-esteem by 1 point. By the way, how quickly could that happen? If she wanted to improve her self-esteem by 1 point, what would she do and how quickly could she get a better result? So I'm looking right here. Tammy says self-work, read new materials, listen to teachings that stretch you. Daniela says, look into the mirror. It's going so fast, it's hard to read it now. Everybody's jumping in as a teacher. Way to go. Find something that you are good at. Ooh, let's see. Gratitude, said somebody. Say, I am worthy. I am deserving, says Rosemary. Somebody else says gratitude. Well, Will Garson says faith. Sheila, I would tell her to purchase something new. Make yourself feel good. Okay, be proud of yourself. Excellent. Well, find something she could be proud of, right? List strengths and weaknesses. Believe in you and be thankful, grateful. Find a vision. Oh my gosh, this is a fantastic list because almost every one of those would increase somebody's self-esteem if they wanted to improve it. A lot of times people have got this belief. Remember, the word belief has the word lie in the middle of it. Be, lie, and so many beliefs about their own self-esteem is a lie. And some people will not face the lie about that. And if they say to themselves they don't have a high self-esteem, then they're not even willing to look, because if I have a low self-esteem, I got a 3. Maybe it's not even possible for me to improve my self-esteem, so I'm not even going to try. And this is one of the dangers of having a poor mindset. It's because you believe that it's not possible to change. But that's why I'm saying I don't want you to change from a 3 to a 10, Sheila. I'm just saying let's just go 1 point. Could you do that? Just like they always say, when you really want to get some kind of brand new regimen going, if you want to improve your physical nature, then don't do 20, 30, 50 push-ups. Do 1. Just give me 1 push-up. Let me see if you can do that. So in this case, Sheila, just what do we need to do to get you to just go to a 4? You know. So think of something that took courage to get through, said Kelly. It is possible. Mindset is the key. Belief is the key. So you've all given your teaching lesson, and I guess I would ask all of you, maybe you make a copy of this chat. You can copy it, I think, before you leave, and just say there are a lot of good ideas in there. Maybe if I had 1 or 2 or 3 of those, I could maybe increase my self-esteem from a 3 to a 5. That might be too much, but you've given me all kinds of steps that you could take, little baby steps. They don't have to be big. You don't have to be huge. You just got to do a little thing every day. And you've given me some good ideas here. So what would I say? What would I say to Sheila? Let me come back to our little PowerPoint here. So her self-esteem number was 3. That's some steps to add 1 point to your SEN. Do you have an SEN, your self-esteem number? So whenever you find yourself doubting yourself, that's affecting your SEN, you know, your self-esteem number. If you are more confident and if you are moving in the right direction, your self-esteem number is going to go up. Let me tell you something about self-esteem. When you face your fear and move through it, your self-esteem goes up. When you procrastinate your fear, when you move away from it, when you decide not to go through that fear, not to even approach it, your self-esteem goes down. So the very first step I would say to Sheila is find something you're afraid to do and go do it. Because just the very fact that you're willing to face a fear and move towards it rather than moving away from it, your self-esteem will go up. It just does. It's just a formula that always works. Now, the reason that we have fears is because usually it's because from experiences we've had in the past where we got burned. And therefore, when we think of the past and we bring that memory to today, we carry the negative experience with us. And here's a quote I would say to Sheila. Sheila, this is not my quote. This is a quote I heard the other day, and you know the way it is with quotes, sometimes you can't remember who said it, but I loved the quote. The quote goes like this: your brain is Velcro for negative memories and Teflon for positive memories. But I would say to Sheila, since this is a formula that most ordinary humans have, we are Teflon for positive things. We don't remember those as much as we remember the Velcro negative experiences. And if it's Velcro, what we do is we pull it into today and it lowers our self-esteem. And so I would say to Sheila, flip that formula, flip it. Make your brain Velcro for your positive experiences, for the times in which you were a winner, and go back and remember those experiences, step into those experiences, remember how it felt to go through that experience, and notice as you're doing that, it increases your self-esteem just because you know you did something good. Now, it could be a little thing. It could be winning a race when you're in kindergarten, or it could be a language you learned, or it could be, you know, you got a job improvement, or a little bit a salary increase, or whatever. It could be all kinds of little things you've done in your life, but you go back to those positive memories and you Velcro them. You make sure that when you think about your past, you're thinking about those popping positive experiences you've had. Go find 100 of them. Now, that might take you a year to do, but just go find lots of them and make sure the Velcro means remember what they're like, and remember them from inside as they were happening to you. Remember, take a deep breath and remember what it felt like to be standing there receiving that little blue ribbon or whatever it happened to be, and make it Velcro. That's what I mean by remember it vividly. Now, the experiences that are negative, the way you make them Teflon is you don't remember them as if they're happening. You remember them from a distance. You remember them from perspective, as if you were a fly on the wall looking at you going through that bad experience and going, just like when you're watching a football game and you see somebody go out for the pass and then they catch the ball and immediately get crushed by 2 or 3 other huge football players. And they drop the ball, they're laying on the ground, they bring a cart in to pull them off the field, and you're watching that and you're going, you know, that must have really hurt. That's perspective. We're watching from the television and we are thinking, but that's the Teflon part of pain. When somebody else has it, you watch them and you go, oh, that probably hurt. But the Velcro part of pain is when you are imagining you are in the body of that person catching that ball and getting completely wiped out and feeling the fact you can't breathe and the pain is searing from the broken bones and you are feeling like you're going to die. That's Velcro. So don't remember bad experiences from as if you were going through and remembering them as they're happening to you. Step outside, make it Velcro. Make it Teflon, make it just slip off, because you're not really in it. You're actually watching it. So what I would say to Sheila, one of the reasons you think your self-esteem is low is because as you think about your past, you're remembering those times when you blew it. And we're all human, we all blow it, we do. Switch it, make sure that you remember the times when you were a winner, and make sure that you have wisdom about the times when you blew it. If you still feel the pain from that, that blowing it thing you did, then you haven't learned from it yet. Wisdom is when you learn from being human. You learn from your mistakes. That's wisdom. And if you're still feeling the pain, you don't have wisdom about it. You're still learning over and over and over again from that painful experience. Make that Teflon, let it slip off your back. Now, to add one more thing to Sheila, and by talking to Sheila, I'm always obviously talking to you all also. Make sure that you go into the future and Velcro the positive memories you're going to create. Make them vivid and bring them into now. Make all the bad experiences you're going to have. You're going to have any bad experiences in the future? Yeah. Learn more quickly from the times you stumble in the future. Make it Teflon so that they just slide off your back and you don't really continue to suffer from the pain of that stupidity. You just learn from it as quickly as you can. You learn to laugh faster, because when you really learn, you laugh at your mistakes. You go, oh, that was a stupid mistake, and you're lighter about it. You lighten up on the bad things. And the reason that she's thinking she's a 3 is because she is not lightening up. She's not laughing. She's not learning. She's looking and pulling that pain into today. So bring the pain, leave the pain in the past and bring the good stuff to today. In the future, leave the bad stuff in the future and bring the good stuff that you're going to do, your memories of how you're going to really change your life. Bring that future memory and bring it into today and stack it today, the past and the future stacked till today. One other thing I would add to our conversation tonight is I would ask Sheila, what would the great ones do? You know, do you respect and admire famous historical figures? Why are they great? What did they do that made them famous, made them a genius, made them memorable, that thousands of people are admiring them for what they accomplished in their life? It's an interesting question. And the real question is, do you ever read biographies of famous people and learn from their lives and ask yourself the question, what would they do? There's a book that came out that ranked the 100 greatest figures in history, scientifically based on Google research and all that kind of stuff, and came up with 100 names from the 100 billion people who have breathed the breath on this planet. 100 billion people have breathed the breath on the planet Earth, and 100 of them, which is a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage, really knocked it out of the park. Some of the names, and you look on the list, you may have never heard of before, because they had influence that you might not even be aware of. And some of them you might say, Elvis, how could Elvis be in the number 100? But this is the research that this book did. And I'm just going to have you scan quickly over the list. We don't have a lot of time tonight, but what I'm planting in your mind is, do you read the stories of great ones? I just recently started doing that in the last 5 years. Although I did some in my 30s and 40s, I read a biography or two. But recently I've read dozens of these stories, and I just wished I'd read them when I was younger, a lot more. I would have. Why is Julius Caesar famous? Because he got stabbed to death by the Senate? Brutus, A2 Brutus? No, when you read his life story, it's unbelievable. It's just, you go, whoa, what a guy. Why is Queen Victoria, why was she the longest running queen? Why did she last so long? Why was she so good? What are some of, and as you look at all these list of 100, I'm gonna ask you a question. When you read the stories of really great ones, you find in the story things you've never heard of before about why they're great, about what they did and how they did it, about obstacles they overcame. For instance, Caesar was kidnapped when he was like 20, 18. He was kidnapped and he was ransomed by the pirates, and they said, we're going to kill you unless your friends and families send us some money. And what he said to them is, how much do you want? And they said, 50 talents or something like that. And he said, I'm worth a lot more than 50 talents. I'm worth 200 talents. So let me go get my friends to bring you what I'm really worth, which is the craziest thing. Well, they brought him 200 talents. Well, they didn't need to bring that much. And then he went and found those pirates, got all the 200 talents back, killed them all, obviously. And this was just the kind of crazy stuff that he pulled off in his lifetime. When you read the stories of some of these great ones, you go, wow, these. So part of your study, I think, throughout the day, throughout your early morning when you're reading, is reading the stories of people you respect and admire, people you'd like to add to the list. And then ask yourself the question, as you're reading that book, what could I learn from this book about their life? Could I acquire one of the traits, the attributes of this person that I'm reading about? And I've just found, over the last couple of years, as I started reading stories, Winston Churchill is one of my favorites. I've been reading him for many years. Einstein and Mao Zedong. Why was Mao famous? Well, he was brutal. There's a lot of reasons for that, but he was a massive reader. He would just read. Why was Lincoln? Why was Steve Jobs? What made Jack Ma? And when you read some of these stories, and I've read recently the stories of Beethoven. Why was Beethoven great? Why were the Wright brothers? So I'm going to challenge all of you to pick 26 people over the next 5 years. And I'm going to challenge you to read 4 or 5 biographies a year. I try to read about two a month, but I'm going to challenge you to pick some people that you admire and respect and read it as if they're talking to you, as they're teaching you when you're reading their story. You go, I would say that to everybody. So pick 26. That means the letters of some of the great ones. And these are some of the people whose biographies I've read over the last 5 years. Cleopatra's story is amazing. Wow. She was the last of the pharaohs and linked herself up with Caesar. But each of these biographies have letters attached to them. And, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Have you ever read his biography? Unbelievable. Now you know why he wrote Think and Grow Rich when you read his biography. That's a great one. Steve Jobs' biography, which is a fabulous biography. So I'm actually going to throw this out to you, that you write down all the letters of the alphabet. And you say, is there somebody I could respect and admire? Read their biography and ask myself the question as I'm reading it: what would the great ones do? In my circumstance, if they were my virtual circle of people that were on my imaginary board of directors, I'm going to challenge you to create an imaginary board of directors for your life. And just having that as a thought, it just almost increases your self-esteem when you're thinking about it, that I'm going to ask these imaginary people to join my imaginary board of directors, my virtual board of directors. And when I read their biography, or maybe even their autobiography, I'm going to ask myself, what made this person great? What was the characteristic or the trait that I could learn from this one person? Napoleon, he eventually lost in his life. He lost the big battle and they sent him to die on an island. Why was he so famous? He's like number 2 on the list of 100 for this company, this book I just mentioned to you. This is my 26. I don't have an X yet, or a U or a Q, but I'm working on finding those letters. But these other books have been remarkable, and in my imaginary board of directors, I try to say to myself, coach me, Marco Polo, coach me. Why are you so famous? What did you do? When you read the story about Marco Polo, it's just stunning what he accomplished. Amazing. And yet I've heard that name 10,000 times, haven't you? But I never understood why his name is so powerful and so popular. Shakespeare, unbelievable. Leonardo da Vinci, they all are great. They all have traits. So I'm going to ask you to select 26 of yours and then start reading them one at a time and try to identify the trait that made that person great. They probably have many traits, but then say, I want to acquire this trait. I want to acquire Beethoven's trait. What made Beethoven so? He was deaf. He wrote the Ninth Symphony when he was deaf. could not hear a single word. He had a single note. He had to create it out of his mind without hearing a single note outside. He couldn't even hear himself play the piano. I mean, what an incredible story. So that's my challenge to all of you tonight. The first lesson is Velcro, Teflon. Make sure your past and your future. Flip the formula so that you'll always remember the times when you were great. What made you great? What trait made you great? Where you accomplished what you've already accomplished, and what trait will make you even greater as you look into the future? And then what are the traits of the real great ones? It's my hope that this has been a valuable lesson for you. Good luck to all of you. God bless. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, Rick, for inviting me. We'll see you again soon.
Perfect. Robert, thank you so much. I also want to thank Henry and Dawn for starting the call off so well. Congratulations on your transformation stories. That's really what it's all about. It's about personal transformation and celebrating that. So thank you, both of you, for being on. And as I always do, I'll end tonight's call with a quote. Motivation is a fire from within. If someone else tries to light that fire under you, chances are it will burn very briefly. That's Stephen R. Covey. So with that,